A Family's Test of Trust, Chapter 1. The Gathering. The autumn sun cast a warm, golden glow over the quaint suburban neighborhood as I drove towards my mother-in-law's house. The annual family brunch was always a lively affair, filled with laughter, delicious food, and the occasional drama. As I pulled into the driveway, I took a deep breath, bracing myself for the day ahead. The house was bustling with activity. My husband, Mark, was already there, helping his mother, Joan, set up the table. My father-in-law, George, was outside grilling sausages while the children played tag in the backyard. I could hear the faint sound of a football game from the living room where my brother-in-law, James, was engrossed in the match. "Hey, Sarah!" Mark greeted me with a warm smile as I walked in. "Glad you made it." "Wouldn't miss it for the world," I replied, giving him a quick kiss on the cheek. As I set my purse down on a side table, I noticed Emily, my sister-in-law, chatting animatedly with her husband, Chris. Emily and I had always had a complicated relationship. While I tried to get along with her for the sake of family harmony, there was always an underlying tension between us. Chapter 2. The incident brunch was a delightful spread of homemade waffles, scrambled eggs, fresh fruit, and Joan's famous cinnamon rolls. Conversations flowed easily, and for a while it felt like any other family gathering, but as we were finishing up and starting to clear the table, Emily's voice pierced the air. "Where's my wallet?" she exclaimed, her face a mask of panic. Everyone stopped what they were doing. "It was right here in my bag," Emily continued, her eyes wide with worry. "It has all my cards and a lot of cash. I can't lose it." A flurry of activity ensued as everyone started looking for the missing wallet. Drawers were opened, cushions were lifted, and the entire house was turned upside down in search of Emily's wallet. After what felt like hours, but was probably only about 20 minutes, Emily suggested we check each other's bags, just to be sure. I felt a knot tighten in my stomach. It seemed unnecessary, but I didn't want to be the one to refuse and raise any suspicions. We all gathered in the living room, and one by one, everyone's bags were checked. When it was my turn, I handed my purse over without hesitation. Joan opened it and, to my horror, pulled out Emily's wallet. Gasps filled the room. "How could you, Sara?" Emily's voice trembled with a mix of anger and shock. "I trusted you." "I didn't do this," I stammered, feeling my face flush. "I have no idea how it got there." "I'm going to sue you," Emily declared, her eyes flashing. "This is theft." Chapter 3. The Revelation. My heart pounded in my chest. The accusation was serious, and I could see doubt flickering in the eyes of my family members. But then I remembered the security cameras. My mother-in-law had installed them last year after a series of break-ins in the neighborhood. "Let's check the security footage," I suggested, my voice shaky but determined. "It will show who put the wallet in my purse." Emily's face turned pale. "That's not necessary," she stammered, her bravado fading. "I'm sure it was just a misunderstanding." But Joan was already heading towards the security system. "We need to clear this up," she said firmly. "For everyone's sake." We all gathered around the TV as Joan pulled up the recordings. The tension in the room was palpable. As we watched the footage, my heart pounded in my chest. There it was, clear as day. Emily, looking around to make sure no one was watching, slyly slipping her wallet into my purse. The room fell silent. Emily's face turned red with embarrassment and anger. I was just trying to teach her a lesson," she mumbled. "Emily, this is unacceptable," Joan said, disappointment etched on her face. "You owe Sara an apology." Chapter 4. The Aftermath. Emily muttered a half-hearted apology, but I could see the insincerity in her eyes. The atmosphere was tense as everyone tried to process what had just happened. I knew our relationship would never be the same. Trust had been broken, and it would take a long time to mend, if it ever could. But I also knew I had stood up for myself and cleared my name. As I gathered my things to leave, Mark came over and gave me a reassuring hug. "I'm sorry you had to go through that," he whispered. "I'm proud of you for standing up for yourself." "I couldn't have done it without you," I replied. feeling a surge of gratitude for his unwavering support. As we drove home, I reflected on the day's events. It had been a challenging and emotional experience, but it had also shown me the importance of trusting my instincts and standing up for the truth. I resolved to be more cautious in the future and to always believe in myself, no matter what. From that day on, family gatherings were different. There was an unspoken understanding that trust had to be earned and that deceit and manipulation would not be tolerated. And as for Emily, she learned the hard way that her actions had consequences. She became more distant from the family, and while she never fully admitted to her wrongdoing, the incident served as a reminder that honesty and integrity are the foundation of any relationship. Life went on, and the autumn days turned into winter. But the lessons I learned from that fateful brunch stayed with me. I became stronger, more resilient, and more determined to live my life with authenticity and integrity. And in the end, that was the greatest victory of all. When Sara attends a family brunch at her mother-in-law's house, she expects a day filled with laughter and good food. However, the pleasant gathering takes a dark turn when her sister-in-law, Emily, accuses her of theft, claiming that Sara has stolen her wallet. As tension and suspicion mount, Sara finds herself in a desperate fight to prove her innocence. With the help of security footage, the truth is revealed, exposing Emily's deceit. This incident tests the bonds of trust within the family, leading to unexpected consequences and hard-earned lessons about honesty and integrity. Framed and Forgiven, A Family's Test of Trust, is a gripping tale of betrayal, resilience, and the enduring power of truth.